Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is 10 o'clock on the 2nd of October, 2019. Instagram as well. Hey, how you doing over there? All the way in Jamaica and wherever you are in the world. I just want to welcome you, and it's a positive day. It's a positive life. It is a positive time. It is time to move away from the doom and the gloom and to look at the positive attributes of life. You know, one of the things is that in anything and in everything, I always somewhat try to find a positive spin to it. Spin. When you say spin, sometimes it sounds like it's a negative thing whereby different politicians, they spin things. But I believe there are positive spin to everything. I believe also that in every single person on this earth, no matter how bad they are, there's this being, or there's something in them that brings out this positive element. Yeah, there's an element in each person which is positive. That means to say in everything as well, there's a positive attribute that can come out of it. That's what I believe, and that's what my topic is today, about the positive aspects of the UK. Yeah. So that's it. I want to welcome you guys, and please feel free to share this video. I appreciate it if you share this video. Just press share, press like or whatever like that. Just press share, and let's talk. I'm trying to keep these conversations roughly in like 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes or so, or even less, because people get bored sometimes. But guess what? I've seen at times whereby I do shows and it grows, whereby people are interested in the topic. Now I hope somehow that this topic today will be interesting and powerful, because I'm going to look at the positive things of the UK, the positive things of Brexit, and the wonderful thing of the new news that it's moving away from the doom and the gloom of the UK and looking at the positive attributes and positive things, Well, first and foremost, I want to give a big congratulations to Miss Dina Asher-Smith. Dina Asher-Smith wins 200-meter gold at the World Atlantic Championship, right? 23-year-old who won the silver in the 100-meter was the outstanding favorite and outclassed the field to take gold in British record of 21.88 seconds. She said, "I'm lost for words. I dreamed of this and now it's real." Listen to what she said. "I'm lost for words. I dream of this and now it's real. I dream of this and now it's real. I don't think it's properly sunk in." For her life, she has stepped into uncharted waters, uncharted territories where she has never been before. Others may have been, but she's just arrived in this situation. "I'm lost for words. I dream of this and now it's real." Is it the time now? Is this a wake-up call for moving away from the doom and gloom? For 3 years after Brexit, there has been constant doom and gloom about what the UK can do, what the UK not even can do, what the UK can't do, about all the negative things which are going to happen as a result of this Brexit. The stalemate, the going around in circles, the negative words, and all of those things which conjures up hate, But yet at the same time, we're seeing someone say, "I'm lost, so I dream of this, and now it's real." Mean to say, we've got to learn to dream again for the UK. Let's look at it as a big thing. Now, I've linked this, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I've linked this with the Boris Johnson speech at the Conservative conference. And yes, I'm a conservative, for those who know. That dating show that comes on TV sometime, where you got all these girls and then you got these guys, and the guys them start to speak about certain aspects of their life, and then the lights go out, bam, bam, boom, 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 boom. Sometimes when I say conservative, I know lights go out. I know I lose followers. I know persons can't believe, But you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The most important thing is that one know who they are, what they're about, understanding one's DNA, understanding of themselves, understanding their USP, their blueprint, understanding the success within a person, and by virtue of such, they can make a difference no matter what field, no matter what capacity. You see, ladies and gentlemen, this month is deemed to be Black History Month. Black History Month is whereby everyone comes out and people come out and people start to talk about the positive things and how people can be successful. I've got a few invitations already to speak at schools about being a successful black person. I want to get into their careers and all those sort of things. And all of that is very important and very crucial. But one can talk as much as you want, but the most important thing that need to drum in any person's life, young person's life, is to understand who they are, understanding their USP. Right. The British psyche and the British heritage is one which has very controversial past. Okay? And such controversial past is where one sometimes can be deemed to be unforgivable. And for some, it may deem to be forgivable based on God's grace and based on one's mercy. Okay? And then, as a result of that, it depends on how one sees that. Then one can move on. Okay? But I have to keep going back to what Dina Asher-Smith said. I'm lost for words and I dream of this and know it's real. Whereby she has now tapped into something where she's got this gold. She's got this gold. Now, many people will say, well, that's because the Jamaicans actually moved out and there were no maybe Jamaicans there on the scene. But guess what? Guess what I understand? She's also Jamaican. Oh, yeah. I don't know if she was born Jamaican or what, but I got to understand that she is a Jamaican. So therefore, the yam is somewhat there, and the USP and the heritage and the DNA of Jamaican is there. So she's been in this adopted country. That is, if she wasn't born here. And by virtue of such, then she's been successful because she dreamt of this and now it's real. Can you dream of a UK leaving the European Union? And by such a dream, to see the positive attributes and to see the positive element of that. Can you see that? Because one has got to see or have the eyes of vision and to dream, to believe that you can see what others cannot see. Now, when I listened to Boris Johnson's speech, now I wasn't at the Conservative conference this year. Last time I was there, past two times, was where Theresa May was the leader of the Conservative Party, right? And the speech today, Anna, how are you, was one which was very upbeat. Why? Many people may say it lacks substance, but it was upbeat. It is saying that we can do it. It is talking about move away from the doom and the gloom, move away from the can't do attitude, irrespective of political differences, irrespective of being Labour, Conservative, Lib Dem, whatever like that. One has got to move to an element and to believe, because whether we like it or not, and yes, I voted Brexit, we have got to leave the European Union. That's what was done. That is what was the decision. But they have not been selling this positive aspects, this positive attributes of what Brexit can be, of what can happen. Yes, there are going to be testing times. Yes, there are going to be fallout. But I believe the fallout will not be in comparison to the positive attributes that come. You see, words that we speak, And anybody that understand this about motivational speaking and about positive mental attitude and about think and grow rich, understand a lot of things that actually happen in this world today is based on someone's thought pattern, someone thinking, how someone perceive. You perceive to conceive, and then you say we can do it. You go into motivational speak, go to network marketing group. They say, what do you believe? What do you believe? What's your dream? What's your dream? What's your why? What makes you tick? I'm lost for words. I dream of this and now it's real. Now the funny thing about Dina Asher Smith is this. I dream of this and now it's real. But at the same time, while she was dreaming, she wasn't just dreaming. She was acting, because that dream was also a vision. And she acted upon it. She had her coach, she got her mentors, she got her parents, she got her family, she got everyone who's there supporting, and she trained. She trained and she trained and she trained. And she built up, and that's like, just like Shelly Ann, who won the 100-meter for Jamaica. Dream, build, dream, build, dream, build, act, vision. And when you see that there with Dina Asher Smith, that is a feel-good factor for the UK. And based on that feel-good factor, it somehow, I believe, can translate into other things. It can translate into the whole psyche of the British culture, whereby you can be lost for words with all of this, what is happening with Brexit, lost for words with Boris Johnson, lost for words with all this political dogma, lost for words with all this going around in circles for the past 3 years, lost for words completely. You see, you can't bother, you give up. But I put it to you this, just like in the words of Dina Asher Smith, you may be lost for words. You dream of this. So therefore, what I'm challenging persons now is to dream. Dream. But while you're dreaming, as I said with Dina Asher Smith, while she was dreaming, she was running. She was going to the track. She was eating the right food. She was making sure that she get any jugs. She was getting the right ingredients at the same time. And all of that created that positive energy in her. That when she ran, even though there were not much crowds at Doha, because that's one of the things her mother tweeted to say, where are the crowds at Doha? So when she does that victory lap, I haven't seen the race, but I hope that there was at least 10 more people there. They said there were about 5 people there the last time when she ran. There was nobody. So there was more, what should I say, more athletes in the audience than actual people in Doha. And when she did the victory lap the last time, when she got second, she ran around. There was hardly anybody. Let's hope there's more. But that didn't deter her. That didn't perturb her. That didn't put her off, as if to say she's wanting to get adulation from the crowd. She had a vision. She had the gut instinct, and she wanted it. Now I'm going to make the comparison now. Yes, with Boris Johnson, irrespective of what anybody says. But from what I see and from my perspective, move away from the scandals, move away from the tithing and all those sort of stuff. All I see right now is a man with a resolve, with a determination, and with a pronunciation to leave the European Union based on the outcome of the June the 23rd referendum 2016, where the question was leave or remain. 17.4 million people voted to remain, to leave. And as a result of that, then that's a decision which is taking place, and that they're moving out. Okay? Moving out. But moving out doesn't mean to say that's the end of it. Because Boris Johnson said something today. I'm European. I love Europe. We're still in Europe. By geography, the UK is still a part of the Europe. But moving away from the European Union. That's the difference. Moving away from the European Union, but still within Europe. And therefore, it is going into the next phase. I think maybe it's better we look at it this way. Not looking at it as to say, that's the end of this relationship. It is more moving into the next phase of the relationship. the next phase of the relationship in regards to the relationship with the European Union. Okay, because the Prime Minister also today has put forth a 7-page document in addressing the whole issue with the backstop and to see if they can get a deal with the European Union. And he said, if we don't get that deal there, that's it. It's a no deal. Let's walk. Right? It is believed that such a deal, which has been put forth, is looking attractive, but yet at the same time it poses problems. But guess what? Any deal is not going to be perfect. You try to work out a deal that each person benefit, but there's going to be losers along the way. The European Union has got to let go of the UK. Jeremy Corbyn, Joe Swinson, Nicola Sturgeon have got to recognize and accept that that's the way forward. Got to leave the European Union, and the UK has got to be free. Let my people go. Because all that is happening is holding on to it. Because I kid you not, if we follow Joe Swinson, Corbyn, Nicola Sturgeon, well, let's follow Nicola Sturgeon and Joe Swinson. Nicola Sturgeon and Joe Swinson will never agree to any deal, because their mandate and their mantra is to remain in the European Union. Nicola Sturgeon is pressing for Scotland to leave the UK so they can go back and become the mass and have the massa as the European Union. That's her mandate. Joe Swinson has totally ignored the referendum results, crazy and wanting, as far as she's concerned, to remain in the European Union. So therefore, there's no way that will pass through Parliament under the watch of Nicola Sturgeon and Joe Swinson. Corbyn, wishy-washy, no have no confidence at the same time. So, if it doesn't take place, if it doesn't happen with this whole Brexit, and whereby the new deal is passed in the House of Commons, even though many people are warming towards it, what you're going to have is a no deal, crash out. Because I don't see the Prime Minister actually going to the Europe and begging them for another time. Begging them for an extension is going to keep dragging it out from 3 years. And then everything will be like in tailspin, kicking the can down the road. And you know that? They said an unstable man is wayward, is unstable in all his ways, and he's not going to get anything. Right now, the UK is deemed to be unstable. Companies which are wanting to make some moves and want to make some decisions are cautious about making such decisions. They're cautious because they don't know where they stand. The markets fluctuate a lot, not just because of Brexit, but because of the instability, because there's a lack of certainty. And certainty is something which is crucial. I know I'm talking a lot, and it'd be good to hear person's views on top of this, And please feel free to always respond. Please free to always come in. But I'm actually just speaking it loud as I actually say it. The UK must leave the European Union by October the 31st, or else you're just going to keep going around in circles. The UK must respect and acknowledge the 17.4 million that voted. Not saying that you're going to ignore the remainder, but in a democratic system, in a democratic country, whereby even if the Prime Minister, who is the next win an election on the basis of the seats, of the total amount of MPs, if there's 6 and win by 2 seats or 3 seats, he is a Prime Minister. Even if he make a deal with the DUP, even if he makes a deal with the Lib Dem, he's still a Prime Minister. And that's the winning party. But at the same time, what you work with your colleague, your opposition members, and work out something that is in the best interest of the country. But based on what is happening now with the European Union, with the deal, and with the dark dogma, and with the going around in circles, you're not going to get anywhere. So therefore, you need a brute force, right? You need a leader that will come and say, this is it. This is what we're going to do. And be firm, and to be rocky, and to be resolute. That's not dictatorship. That is firmness. There's always a need for firmness. And that is what the UK has been lacking, firmness. Because if you watch all of these wishy-washy leaders, and I'm watching my words, won't say some of the words that they say create animosity, because everybody is now becoming so, what should I say, petty. Many people are becoming so fickle. Many people don't like to hear certain words because everything is though offended. Everybody's offended. You're offended there. I'm offended there. Oh, don't say that. I'm going to cry. And come on, it's like pure thing. Crazy. So what we need? A clean out. A total clean out of the parliament. A total clean out. Handing out P45 left, right and center. Get this general election done. Get the people say yes. Let's do it. Let's clean out. Get new people in. Get you in. You put yourself forward as prospective parliamentarian. Put yourself forward as prospective councillors. Put yourself forward as prospective mayors. Put yourself forward in all different respects, ladies and gentlemen. It is time. One has got to be positive. One has got to be upbeat. One has got to be optimistic. I'm totally optimistic. I keep saying to people all the while, and I don't know what you think, I'm not in this sort of dogma or this quandary whereby it will be impossible to live a life or to serve under a Boris Johnson government. Well, I'm using the Boris Johnson government, which I don't mind as a conservative, but under a Labour government, under a Joe Swinson government. It's not that bad, really. You know, it's not that bad. Even a Nigel Farage Brexit Party government, it's not that bad, really, when you think about it. You know, so it's like people say, I will leave this country, I'll leave the United States if that person becomes president. That is all load of baloney, in a certain sense. It is all scaremongering. All scaremongering for achieve a particular end. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, ladies and gentlemen, what you believe, what you perceive, what you conceive is what's going to be. And therefore, everyone has a responsibility, a total responsibility, as far as I'm concerned, to be the architect of their destination, to be the architect of their destiny, to be the architect of their final. Because you know what? Before you can have an architect, you've got to already have a blueprint. And that blueprint is somewhat like the DNA. Think about that for a second. Before you can have an architect. Am I correct? Somebody can correct me there. But as far as I'm concerned, the architect or the person that start to create the building and build the building or whatever like that operates from a blueprint. Okay, so we each person have to have a blueprint, and that blueprint is somewhat like the DNA, and then that DNA starts to build. Got to change the mindset. Totally got to change the mindset. You know, I see people, damn the UK. You know, damn what is happening with Brexit. But now's the time for a speaking up. Now's the time to move away from the doom and gloom. Now's the time to look at the positive attributes. Now's the time to look and say, right, okay, so therefore, if we do this now with Brexit and we do that, then maybe we can get this, and start to look at it that way. Because change always comes, and change must come. Change must come. You cannot run from change. When you have change, it develops maturity. Staying in the comfort zone, it leads to death, really. Because if you want to move on, you want to be successful, and you want to grow, you've got to be changed. You cannot stay in the comfort zone. You cannot stay in the safety of the shores. You cannot stay whereby you're just able to be safe. Be safe sometimes leads to death. One has got to step out into the deep, into uncharted waters, uncharted territories, as much as possible. So what the Prime Minister has done, ladies and gentlemen, to sort of keep boosting the whole thing, the Prime Minister, and I've got the document here. There's this document which has been established. The Prime Minister has put on a deal now, right? Many people are saying, oh, I've not got anything, and everybody was ravishing the Prime Minister. And when I say the Prime Minister, let's put this into perspective. Boris Johnson is the Prime Minister, yes, the figurehead. But Boris Johnson don't sit down and do all of these things. There's a team of persons. You got a health secretary, you got a Brexit secretary, you got the civil service. It's a massive network. It's a massive machinery, right? And this document now, it is deemed to be the new setting out the format for the deal. Explanatory note: UK proposal for an amended protocol on Ireland, Northern Ireland, and the date is today, the 2nd of October 2019. Moving into a new deal. The UK sets up below a proposal for an agreement which should be acceptable to both sides, which delivers the objective of the Belfast Good Friday Agreement. This proposal would A. be based first and foremost on our commitment to find solutions which are compatible with the Belfast Good Friday Agreement, the fundamental basis for governance in Northern Ireland. B. Confirm our commitment to long-standing areas of UK Ireland collaboration, including those provided for in the Belfast Good Friday Agreement, but also others in some cases predating the European Union, the Common Travel Area, the rights of all those living in Northern Ireland, and North and South Cooperation. C. Provide for the creation of an all-island regulatory zone on the island of Ireland, covering not just sanitary and SPS and agri-food, but all goods, eliminating agriculture regulatory checks for trades. D. Make this regulatory zone dependent on the consent of those who live under it through the Northern Ireland institutions. E. Ensure that Northern Ireland will be fully part of the UK customs territory, not the EU customs territory. Ensure that the Northern Ireland will be fully part of the UK customs territory, not the EU customs territory, after the end of the transition period, with all custom process necessary to ensure compliance with UK and EU custom. Ladies and gentlemen, it's happening, right? It's going to go to Juncker, going to go to Michel Garnier, or whatever his name is, and they're going to look back at it and they're going to say, all right, let's see what it is. What is Boris Johnson's plan to avoid a hard Irish border, or Brexit? Yes? What Boris Johnson said? The plan remove the so-called backstop. I've been talking about for years, since I've been talking and following Brexit. I'm someone like the Brexit Guinea, talk about Brexit, all these different words going on for what? Brexit, prorogue, backstop. Backstop is the insurance policy, and I read it here, negotiated by Theresa May and the EU. It is designed to avoid any physical border infrastructure, which is feared would bring back memories of the troubles after Brexit, i.e. the Good Friday Agreement with Tony Blair architect, to ensure that remains in place. It would keep the UK in the same customs territory as the EU, Northern Ireland closely tied to EU regulations, until the UK and the EU reach a trade deal. Why not have a trade deal? Why not everybody just get together and say, let's just do this? Why didn't the parties in the past, why didn't they actually agree to Theresa May's deal? Most of them are saying it's a pity they didn't do it. You're looking for something perfect. There'll not be a perfect. As the Prime Minister said, I've made compromise. There's got to be compromise. I understand Nigel Farage is saying, let's have a clean break. While that sounds good, I don't really buy that too much. I believe there's got to be compromise. Politics is about power and compromise, ladies and gentlemen. Politics is about power and compromise, right? But he said it would stop the UK striking its own trade deal, which is why so many Conservative MP, include Mr. Johnson, oppose the backstop. What is the alternative? Right? The government wants the UK to leave the EU customs union. This would mean Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland ending up in two different custom territories. Meaning lorries enter the Republic of Ireland from Northern will need to complete customs declaration. This is to ensure that the correct tariff are paid when UK goods enter the UK customs area. Talk about custom check. Instead of installing custom post and other physical infrastructure at the Irish border, the UK said declarations should be done electronically. Right? Why is the Irish border blocking Brexit? That's the question. If adopted, a border solution relying on technology and remote checks would be a first. The EU does not currently share a single border with a non-EU country where checks have been currently eliminated, right? Regulation on goods, right? So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I think the point I'm coming home to and landing now is simply this. If you want good, you know have to run, okay? It is time for the UK to get with the program, agree, speak to your MPs. Not that they listen anymore, because most of them are on their own trip. People are tired, right? And it's time for moving away from the the doom and the gloom. Time to move away from all of this wishy-washy back and forth. Time to move away from kicking the can down the road. Time to be upbeat. Is it? They said, and many have said it many times, being positive and optimistic. Nothing is wrong with that. It's not like you're believing in a pipe dream. Maybe people say you're believing in a pipe dream. Get real with the program. But what's wrong with being positive? It's just like when people say, people post things like saying, there's no God. Why are you guys wasting your time? And then somebody would always respond and say, well, what's wrong with them loving the God that they want? Let them be. And guess what? If they're wrong, then you have nothing to worry about. So let people be who want to serve their God and believe that they're going to heaven, right? And let those who don't want to do what they're doing, but don't try to bring people your way. And that's why I never, in a way, try to pull people to come with me to be a conservative. And that's why I always agree when I'm having even discussion with a person, because it makes no sense. And that's why I don't believe that someone should be able to tell me what I should do or to be the thought police. Because as a black person, that's how I should think. Perish the thought. Rubbish, silly, stupid, utter rubbish, I say at all times. Just like Kanye West. Kanye West said, I'm no more going to do secular music. I just want to do gospel. Many people are saying, is he genuine? Why is he doing that? You know, this is a guy that was in the Illuminati. And then I said, so what? Let him do what he wants to do. You do what you want to do. Allow others, let them do what they want to do. Don't worry about them. Check your life. Check the mud out of your eye. You know, be positive. It doesn't hurt. It's good for you. Good for the heart. Good for the soul. You know. So my view is this: Brexit is gonna be good. How do you know that, SYLBOURNE? Because I'm declaring it. Because I'm speaking it. Brexit will be good. How do you know? Instagram. Because I speak it and I'm declaring it. Getting out of Europe is going to be good. Because guess what? You're moving into another dimension. You're establishing a new relationship. You're establishing new, new grounds, new territories, new deals. New deals. You know? Think about it. You've been working at a place for years. Totally. And after a while you get bored. You want something else, you know? And then you finally make the application and start to work somewhere else. Now you go to that place, you got a burst of energy, burst of excitement, new friends, new colleagues, and now you say, this is where I want to be. I want to grow. I want to go to this next level. I want to be a director there, blah, blah, blah. And that burst of energy, why? You know what? It is new. You're into new grounds, new territories, and you're optimistic, and you want to go with a bang. Yeah? And this is this whole thing, I believe. Because when you stay in the same ground, Theresa May has been trying it for years, trying to get a deal with the EU. David Cameron been trying it for a while to get a new deal. And what is happening? The UK is leading the way, leading the charge. Leading the charge. That's what it's about, leading the charge. Many people do not like a rebel. But sometimes you got to be a rebel to make that change. And that rebelness is in a lot of us. Anybody who's a freedom fighter, anybody right now, think about it, who's a national hero, was classified as a rebel or terrorist. Mandela, you know, Castro, Gaddafi, all those persons, they all stand apart. The national heroes of Jamaica, Nani, Sam Sharp, Paul Bogle, Norman Washington Manley, Bustamante, all of them, Marcus Garvey, all were rebels, all stood alone and went against the grain, went into uncharted waters, stepped into uncharted territories, decided to make that change, and did what Dina Smith said. I had a dream, never lost for words. I had a dream. But guess what? While they had the dream, the Malcolm X, the Martin Luther King, the Bustamante, the Sam Sharp, the Marcus Garvey, the Gaddafi, the Mandela, all of them, while they had a dream and they could see where they want to go. And this is what I'm trying to say now. I want to build that dream in yourself. Build that dream. you know, you know. But then you got to work at it. Every one of them work at it. You know, Castro and Shivers, they had their structure. Mandela, they had their structure. They worked at it while they had a dream. They built their vision until it became a reality. So, ladies and gentlemen, in my final word here today, and this is a motivational message, I want to share it because it's about life changing, is this, believe it or not, is you've got to let yourself go. Right? You've got to allow yourself to step out of the comfort zone. You've got to go into the deep. Because only when you go into the deep that you'll see what is beyond. And you know, and I'm not just talking about when you look beyond, you know, when you I'm from Ochoris, Jamaican, and you can see the horizon. And beyond the horizon, there's lots of things. But guess what? This is the other bit. Aquaman, that movie, when you go down into the deep now. That's why people are still even going into the deep for the Titanic to find some jewels. Dig deep. That's where your treasures are. Brexit. Let's do it. Well, that's my upbeat message for Brexit. And that message can go for anything, ladies and gentlemen. So listen, I want to thank you all for coming on tonight. And as well, congratulations to Dina for the work that she has done, and that is great, and also to all the Jamaican athletes as well, all the Jamaican athletes who have done their bit. Unfortunately, Elaine has pulled out, but nevertheless, still that's the way it goes. All right, so I want to thank you so much. So have a good evening and all the best, and peace out. And please share this video and look forward to your comments. Have a good evening. Have a wonderful Monday. And remember, let's Brexit. Let's go. Bye-bye. Thanks.